Blessings in abundance, beautiful people. Before we dive into the podcast today, I have a very, very special announcement. On Saturday, March 26th at 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, yours truly, along with my co-host, Minister Jennifer Wendy Brown of Single and Sold Out, will be teaching a live virtual masterclass, the Heart Check Masterclass. Lady leader, where's your heart? The Heart Check Masterclass is for entrepreneurial and creative women of influence in the marketplace, business, and ministry. You can't miss this class if you are an influencer, leader, creative, professional, or entrepreneur who has endured setback after setback and you keep on pushing, but the results fall short and you're burned out. This is for you if you feel pain in your heart and know there's lingering residue, but because there are people following you and looking up to you, you keep pushing past your feelings to serve even though you're hurting. And this is for you if you've made some progress and you've been doing some of the healing work, but you still have lots of triggers and unwanted memories and flashbacks. And so in this masterclass, we're going to learn about matters of the heart and emotions that can sabotage your brand, purpose, and ministry if left unchecked, especially as a leader and a woman of influence. We're going to learn simple strategies you can implement right away to check your heart and clear your heart and get back into alignment with new ways of feeling, thinking, and being as you go to your next level, and so much more. So you're only a few mindset shifts away from feeling better now. So I encourage you, register for this free masterclass today. Click the link in my show notes or go to bit.ly/Heart Check Masterclass to register today. Now on to the show. This is the Well-Centered Woman Podcast, a space created to provide practical wisdom for every faith-based lady influencer, creative, and entrepreneur who desires to better manage her emotions under pressure. In every episode, we discuss what it takes to stay centered and sane while operating in purpose using faith, community, and practical wisdom. Grab your journal, coffee, and tea, and let's start getting our emotions all the way together. I'm your host, Tanika Maria, and welcome to the podcast. Hey, family, Tanika Maria here. Here's the next installment for the month of February, where we are talking about all things love and relationships. And, this is going to be a really interesting discussion because I'm going to be talking about the ways in which we as women of influence, we as women of God, leaders, influencers, entrepreneurs, professionals, how we may not be really as ready for a real relationship as we think we are. Often as women, we claim that it's the men who are emotionally unavailable to us for a real relationship. But remember, we attract who we are and not what we want. Ouch. Oh my goodness. Could it be that you are emotionally unavailable for a purpose partner right now? And often during certain seasons of our lives, we honestly really don't have the capacity for a relationship. And it takes time to really cultivate a healthy relationship because you have to be open and available for when it shows up. You got to be ready to have the relationship. So if you're out here saying, hey, I want to be married, God, where is my king? Perhaps you should check out these signs. And as a certified Christian life coach in this area, I have dealt with this personally for myself and have seen it in the lives of my clients. So let's dive in. Let's look at these signs and see if any of these ring true for you. Number one, overcommitted and too busy. Come on. If you are super committed and super busy to your career, starting up your business, you have demanding business and ministry, school and classes and your family and your children. There's COVID, there's crises, there's all kinds of stuff going on in your life. You just busy. You're just busy. You're just very busy and very dizzy with all of this stuff. Then there's no space for a relationship. You don't have time for yourself, much less time to cultivate a real relationship. And the kind of relationship that you want, the kind of relationship that you deserve and desire, it requires time. It requires sharing. It requires involvement. It requires engagement. It has to be mutual. And so if there's too much going on in your life right now, you don't really have the space to have a real relationship. Successful relationships begin with each person. And if you barely have the time for yourself these days, how do you find quality time to juggle a relationship? And sure, our lives will ebb and flow as we go through different phases. Sometimes we will have a very full schedule, a full glass, so to speak. But other times, things will be more relaxed. But if your glass is in a constant state of overflow, then just simply don't expect for there to be a lot of room in your life for a relationship to grow. So if you're overcommitted and really busy, then you're not time-wise available. And if you're not time-wise available for a relationship, you're not going to be emotionally available for one either. So that's sign number one. If you're in that place, you're likely not available. You're not available emotionally in your heart space for a relationship. Number two, if you have a chaotic, drama-filled life. So if you're in the place or a season where your life seems a bit chaotic and out of control, if there's lots of drama, you got issues, you have conflict at work, conflict within your family, you're going through a lot of transitions, you're coming out of an illness, there's sickness in your family, you just got all of these issues. So it's not your being number one, which was being overcommitted and busy with your career and stuff. This is about just extra drama and just conflict and transitions in your life. Then in that case, you will be a little bit too self-centered and caught up with what's going on in your life to really be open to a healthy connection. It's going to be difficult to have a loving and honest relationship if you're focusing on all of this drama. If you have all of these fires to put out, if you have all of this conflict and you're trying to do this and trying to do that and trying to put this out and handle this situation and get over that and push through this, then there's no space for you to give that person in that relationship the honest time and attention that it needs, because your focus, your inward focus on yourself and your issues. And so by virtue of that, it makes you emotionally unavailable for a real relationship. Number three, if you have emotional issues, this emotional roller coaster situation. So again, emotional maturity and emotional healing is really, really key. And I talk about this. This is my passion. This is what I'm about. But you really have to have that emotional maturity and be healed before you can have mastery or maturity. So if there's woundedness, and how that shows up is, you shut down. You may get evasive if someone gets too close. You may act weird. You may get close to them and then pull apart. You may be best friends one day and next day you're cold. Suddenly you're available and then you act like, you just up and down. The man can't figure out where you are from one day to the next. You're in this place of not being able to be open and vulnerable or trust. You have these trust issues. So you may put up walls and have games, do all this push and pull and cat and mouse. If any of this weird emotional stuff, up and down, evasiveness, chasiness, this weird stuff, that's a sign. That is a really, really huge sign that you are unavailable for a real relationship. It's like you want it, but then you play these games. So if you're in that place, come on, you need emotional healing. We are responsible to go to God and heal these issues. We want someone to love us, but then we put up walls. We want someone to love us, and then we get extra and have these weird dynamics going on. That's a sign that emotional healing needs to occur so that you can be emotionally available for a relationship. And if you're in that place, more than likely, you're going to attract a man who's also like that. Because again, we don't attract what we want, we attract who we are. Sign number 5 that you are unavailable for a real relationship is if you're disconnected from your purpose. Disconnection from yourself and disconnection from purpose. If you don't know yourself, if you are disconnected from your true self, who you are in your heart of hearts, due to trauma, unhealed wounds, if you keep having rebound relationships, dating relationships, you're trying to be what everybody wants you to be, trying to live up to everyone else's standards, not really taking the time to dig deep and know who you are for yourself, then you're going to attract an emotionally unavailable partner because you're unavailable. If you're really not taking the time to dig deep and know you, you won't be emotionally available to another because you're not really aware and available to your own self. So this requires, again, deep inner healing work. This requires kind of going deep. Okay, I got to know who I am and my purpose and why I'm here before I can really be available to a partner that's going to meet me at my where I am, a partner that's compatible with who I am, the real me. When I take off the trauma and the drama and all the jacked up stuff that happened, who am I at my core? That's the partner that I want to meet me when I'm at my true self. But if you don't know that, then you're emotionally unavailable, right? Number 5, I think I'm losing track of my numbers. If you are still not over your ex, if you're still stalking the ex, still thinking about the ex, still dreaming about your ex, still in pain about what happened in that relationship, then your soul is tied to the past. Your soul consists of your mind, your will, and your emotions. And if your emotions are still tied up to your ex, you're not going to be emotionally available for the next. Come on, somebody. If you're still not over the ex, you won't be available for your next. So that is a sign that you could still be emotionally unavailable, even though you may be saying, God, where's my king? Where's my husband? If you got this going on with that ex, then you're not ready. Here's another one. Perfectionistic. If you are looking for perfection, this is the kind of person that looks for and finds a fatal flaw in someone, and then they figure out a reason to self-sabotage the relationship and move on. And the real problem is you're scared of intimacy. If you get with someone and everything is working out, but then you start getting scared, you start acting weird, you want to backtrack and self-sabotage. It's a fear of intimacy. And when you can't find that perfect partner, you start getting anxious. And so this is the situation where you find an excuse to end a relationship. And this is a sign that you're emotionally unavailable for a real relationship, because again, no one is perfect. We know this, but if you're afraid of intimacy, because to be available for a relationship, you got to be open to intimacy. You got to be open to trust. You got to have your heart open to love. Another sign that you may be unavailable, even though you think you are, is that the idea that you actually need to be in a relationship to be happy. If you need to be in a relationship in order to be happy, that's a big sign that you don't need to be in a relationship. If you are spending time on multiple dating apps, on multiple dating sites, obsessing about your profile, spending a lot of time pursuing a relationship more than God, than your purpose, then you're probably unavailable for a real relationship, because you need to pursue God and your purpose first. Live your life, really find who you are, seek first the kingdom of God, because the real true relationship is not, you're almost repelling it, because in the chasing and the neediness is almost making it an idol, and you're unavailable for the real true one when it really shows up, because it's going to be found in God. It's going to be found as you seek your purpose, as you begin to flow in the authentic version of who you are in your purpose, not chasing and needing that relationship. So if you're needing a relationship to over and above your purpose, needing a relationship, and that longing that is stronger than pursuing that business, pursuing that idea, pursuing that vision and dream, if that need to be on those dating sites is greater than that, you're unavailable. And lastly, if you have what I call the Florence Nightingale savior complex, or project boyfriends. So if you're picking partners where there's someone you always got to fix that, he'll do. And so I'm going to pick men or attract men that I need to fix, help, set free, and deliver. This is missionary dating. This is where you pick men that need a little bit of help, and you're going to help them and build them up. And this is subconsciously a fear of intimacy and commitment, because a real relationship with a healthy man is going to require you to show up differently. It's a different feeling. It's a different look, right? It's something totally foreign. And a real relationship with a healthy man is something that you're afraid of, right? And if you really were available for a real relationship, you wouldn't keep getting caught up with these projects. So if you keep picking and attracting projects, what's going on with that? If you have a pattern of project boyfriends, if you have a pattern of men that you always got to fix up, then what is it about you that you don't feel that you're worthy or that you're ready for a man that doesn't need fixing up, that he's showing up strong? He's firing on all 4 cylinders. He's ready and open. That kind of a man you might run from. And by virtue of that, you're showing that, okay, I'm not really available like I thought I was, right? So to recap, number 1, you're overcommitted, too busy. Number 2, a chaotic, drama-filled life. 4, emotional weirdness and weird things up and down and evasion and trust issues and all of this stuff, pushing men away. That's number 3. Number 4, you're disconnected from yourself and purpose. You're trying to be what everybody wants you to be. You got all this unhealed trauma, don't know yourself and feeling all unworthy and, all of that stuff. You're not going to be available. Number 5, you're still not over the ex. Number 6, perfectionism. You're looking for the perfect man. You find one flaw. Everything's been going good, but now all of a sudden something's wrong. And so now you sabotage the relationship. Number 6, you need to be dating, need to be in a relationship to be happy. That's a sign of being unavailable. And number 7, I hope I got these numbers right, the Florence Nightingale savior complex. Always got to have a project, a man that you need to fix and fixer-upper, Bob the Builder type situation, missionary daters. If you were really available for a real relationship with a man that didn't need fixing, then that may scare you. So it's a fear of intimacy. So if you see yourself in any of these things, don't lose hope. Do not lose hope, sister. Work with the Holy Spirit and take the time to dig deep within yourself. Assess your life, the season of life that you're in right now, and what you can do to get ready. Now, before we end this, let me know your thoughts and takeaways by leaving a review or by email or Instagram at GetRealBeHealed. And if you haven't done so, subscribe to this podcast, share it with your friends, and follow me on YouTube and Instagram. And all month long for the month of February, I am highlighting 2 powerful resources for your personal development digital library: the Pain to Power Romantic Relationship Power Pack and the Love Reset Masterclass audios. These are so powerful, juicy, full of insight and revelation on romantic relationships, healing, and being ready for healthy love when it shows up. Click the links in the show notes to learn more. You need this because there's stuff on those audios that are not in these podcasts. So grab these while they're here. And until next time, my sister, my love, this is Tanika Maria, and blessings in abundance. Thank you so much for joining me on the Well-Centered Woman podcast. If you've enjoyed what you heard today, subscribe and spread the word. Don't forget, you can gain access to more resources in your journey to emotional mastery by going to the episode website and checking out the show notes. Until next time, this is Tanika Maria, right here in the journey with you, keeping those emotions all the way together.